So welcome to tutorial 225, and what I've done on this chart is applied a pivot program and just show you that. Very simple, using the standard pivot function, and I've called it tutorial 225. If we go to the program itself, you'll see that we're calling the pivot function, which is a standard TradeStation function, and if you were to right click on that, you can have a look at the function and its inputs. And we're looking for pivots with a right strength of 10 and a left strength of 10, and we've got the program applied twice. One of them looking for low pivots where high-low is set to -1 in this part of the program, and the other one where it's set to +1. And then we're saying if the value returned by the pivot, which I've set as value 1, is not equal to -1, then we're going to plot the pivot. Otherwise, we're going to no plot. Now, bear in mind here, we're doing a couple of things which are going to make sense later. But the price, we're plotting what the price was that number of bars ago, the right strength number of bars ago. Bear in mind, we've got in this program, I've put it in the program here, but I've also got it in the inputs. The right strength is equal to 10 bars. What I've also done is plotted the plot 10 bars ago as well. In other words, I've used plot 1 and then I put in right brackets the right strength of 10 bars. Got it applied twice to show the high and the low pivots. And if we just go back to the chart, you'll see that that presents a very nice, almost planned showing of where the pivots are. Now, don't let that mislead you, because, as you would probably have gathered, the pivots are actually determined after the right bars and then drawn back in history. And of course, doesn't mean the pivots are not useful. They can be useful for determining points of resistance or support, etc., and many other uses. But if you are thinking of using, for example, something like this in a strategy, let me just go back to the start of the chart and you'll see where it becomes a little more complicated. So what I've done, I've got a pivot here, and what I've also done is applied a strategy. And if we go to the strategy, what I've done is essentially used exactly the same syntax for the pivot, but I've just said if there is a pivot occurs, a low pivot in this case, then buy next bar. So looking at the chart, you'll see that we've got the pivot and it's saying buy next bar. Well, the reason that is so many bars to the right is because that occurs after the right strength. So in other words, a good thing or a bad thing about the pivots is it can make you be a little misleading when you're looking at a chart such as this in terms of thinking about doing a strategy. So anyway, I wanted just to show that to you in case you weren't familiar with this, or you are a relatively new TradeStation user, and hopefully that will be useful.